Another day, another case of libelistic horseshit written about me. I have so much fun reading this. So, um, so basically, a couple of weeks ago, I did a reading of Stetson Hardwick's latest book, and he's apparently become aware of it through one reason or another. I'll link the YouTube and Odyssey videos in the description. The Odyssey one's my upload, the YouTube one's Gage's upload of that video. And either way, Stetson's come across it. And basically, on Christmas Eve, he decided to write a load of libelistic horseshit as his description for a podcast. Now, the podcast itself is completely boring because it's literally just my reading of his book, unedited, with a really bad tune over the top of it, which is, honestly, I'd like to think that it's royalty free, because honestly, the idea that someone would claim ownership of it makes me sad. But anyway, I won't hold off any longer. Here is the the little manifesto Stetson wrote about me in the description of his 6-hour-long podcast, talking about, wait, is it 6 hours? 5 hours and 6 hours. Yeah, so part 1 is 5 hours, part 2 is 6 hours, and this is literally just the entirety of my Avatar The Last Gender Bender video, unedited. From one bit to another, minus the stupid music put over the top of it. It's not remotely fair use, and it's not remotely anything that anyone could claim is fair use, because there's no commentary over it, there's nothing of value over it. You can't even say it's being archived, because I don't delete my own shit. So there's no reason to have a public archive. If I did delete my own shit, and Stetson wanted a record, I'd even give him that. I'd even say, you know what? Possibility, it's not going to be here. But anyway, this dickhead has decided to steal my content, which I find hilarious. And he has decided to put it on his shitty podcast with this as the description. The continued attacks by conservatives on the unsuspecting public never takes a break. Even on the holidays, they continue to yell, bully, instigate trouble, blame others for their horrible actions, and slander innocent individuals for their own personal and political gain. On this episode of the Anshinai Show by Penavega. By the way, Penavega is literally just Stetson's Twitter. It's not an actual company. You will hear an active member of active member of Gage Cult, the GKC. Okay. Quote unquote Professor Curious. Brackets, a fake name for a real loyal conservative Gage supporter, not an actual professor. Where the fuck is your proof that I'm not an actual professor? I mean, I'm not, but where's your fucking proof, bitch? I mean, I am an actual professor. I'll mail you any documentation that, says I am, if you want to see it. Attack transgender individuals as a whole, which includes writers, publishers, and researchers. What do those two think? Let's say I did attack transgender people. I don't. That's retarded. But let's pretend for a second I did. Why would it matter what their profession was? And why would I ever be in a situation where I'm like, well, I really hate your people, but you are a publisher, so you're alright, but everybody else is bad. Like, what is wrong with this fucking man? Promote their conspiracy theories that countries don't exist. It's not a conspiracy theory. Your stupid Demingukshania country doesn't actually exist. Bring up any atlas on the fucking planet. It doesn't exist in any of them. It only had a Wikipedia article because you made it, and Wikipedia's moderation team didn't notice it for a couple of weeks, and then they finally got around to removing it. And that intelligence is equivalent to retardation. That doesn't make sense. What you're trying to say is your idiot opinions being called retarded is somehow the same fucking thing as me flat out saying that intelligent, rational thought is retarded. You're an idiot. Calls liberals and their books shit. I mean, you are shit and your book's shit. What do you want from me? Also, if a book's shit, it doesn't matter who wrote it, and it doesn't matter that it's a book. You don't deserve standing ovation for writing a book, because any retard can write a book. It's not fucking rocket science. I've written 2. Hell, I've technically written more than that. I've just not published them all, because some of them I don't want to publish, and others I haven't got around to publishing. But I have written a lot of stuff over the years, a lot of things, and only 2 of them I've bothered to publish. I don't get standing go every time I fucking put a book out there. Quite the opposite, actually. Like, you get fucking you get fucking criticism when you fucking put stuff out there and expect people to pay for it. People are a lot more critical. And it's honestly kind of worrying when you hear someone actually say in front of you what they think of what you've done. It's kind of an interesting thing to experience. And even accuse transgender individuals of being lunatics. Funny, my mate Eve is trans and I've never called her a lunatic. Called her crazy because she is, but not because she's trans. She just happens to be a crazy person who's trans. But no, I don't call you a fucking lunatic because you are trans, in quotations. You're not actually trans. Hate to break it to you, but you just really, really want to be trans, but you're not. And I say this as someone who has trans friends who I have known through most of their transitionary period. You are not fucking trans, mate. You are a bloke that wears a dress on occasion. It's not the same thing, I'm sorry, it really is not. Alongside promoting an international hate crime campaign. When did I do this? Did I start a curiosity's sake episode with like swastikas in the background with a GoFundMe? Where conservatives put up pictures of transgender individuals all over the world and then encourage conservatives in every country to kill transgender people. No, what you've done is literally twist what I said as an offhand joke that basically, if we're going to educate anybody on you, we should do what they did in Doctor Who, where the fucking Silents were more or less tricked into programming and brainwashing the entire human race into murdering them on sight. It was how, like, they defeated the Silents, and humans had no idea what a Silence was, but they just knew they had to kill them the second they saw one, and that's what I said should be programmed into people's heads for when they see you and your rape apologist bullshit. Professor Curious is a truly homegrown terrorist, born and raised with a universally proven mental disorder. What disorder? Go ahead, tell me what disorder I've been universally proven to have. I'm very, very happy to hear what you say is my mental disorder. I mean, you're welcome to say schizophrenia, cotards, that imposter syndrome where your entire life becomes a game of Among Us. Which one? Alongside violent tendencies. Well, that is true. And a lack of self-control. That is certainly not true. Both Professor Curious and Gage are a danger to themselves and others. How many people have been hurt because of either of us? I honestly don't think I could even count them on one hand. I don't think anybody has been harassed, threatened. People certainly haven't come to other people's houses because of shit we've pulled. So, yeah, that doesn't fucking work, mate. Sorry. Their conservative transphobia and bigotry is nothing new in their misinformation promotional game, as they continue to undermine the reality of truth, fact, and reality. The reality of reality. This is why I don't call myself a writer. This is what writers are to me. Fucking halfwits. Professor Curious mocks people who have been victimized. No, I don't. That's more your friend Andrew Velasco's thing. And Cranium 99's. Promotes death toward the LGBTQ plus community. Funny that there's no P in there anymore. It used to be QP in all of your bullshit, but then you realise that being a pedophile advocate kind of ruins your narrative. He makes delusional claims that transgender individuals are fake transgenders with lanced on tits. What's lanced on tits? I don't know what lanced on means. I think what did I say? Like slapped on or fused on or something along those lines. I didn't say lanced on because lanced on isn't a thing. Who will always be male. I didn't say you'll always be male. It's just you have not done anything that would qualify you as female. He has no respect for people with gender dysphoria. No, I have the utmost respect for people with gender dysphoria. You don't have gender dysphoria, you're just a nut. And he celebrates the even the thought of, could you do me a favor and fucking proofread this shit? Of transgender individuals globally being dead. No, it was just you. That was the thought that I celebrated. And beaten and shot. I mean, yeah, that would be pretty funny if you got beaten and shot, I'm not gonna lie. Alongside being run over by a steamroller. I did say that. I can't remember why I got annoyed at one part of the book. It said that I wish you got run over by a steamroller and looked like an empty stupid toothpaste. I'm not sorry for that. That's funny. Professor Curious. I like how my name is in brackets, in quotation, sorry, every time it comes up. Like, that's not even my actual handle. It's a fake one that I came up with. Author does not believe that countries exist. Demogorgonia doesn't fucking exist. It doesn't. It's not recognised by the UN. It doesn't have a landmass. It doesn't have a place in any atlas. Nobody with a geography fucking qualification could tell you where it is or how it exists. Even if you want to say that it's not a land, it's a people or something like that. Even if you want to say it's nomadic, it still doesn't exist because it's just you. That's not a country. And no, the millions of fucking personalities that you have in your head, like a retarded Ermac, does not constitute a fucking country. And that they are made up. It is made up. You made it up. You pulled it out your ass. This proves that conservative ideology is truly a mental disorder. No, it's not. It's an ideology. Like, it's callous at times and a bit nonsensical at others, but it's not a mental disorder. Honestly, anarchy is a mental disorder because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Fascism is a mental disorder because it doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, like, it's not a fucking mental disorder, you idiot. See, I actually have a place to talk because I have a qualification in politics. I had to write an essay on what conservatism even is to pass the fucking course, like the whole qualification. To get that qualification, I had to write an essay to prove that I knew what the fuck I was talking about. You, on the other hand, did fucking gender studies or general studies or whatever the fuck. And I also did general studies, so I'm overqualified. I'm more qualified than you in everything. And we advise you, you mean advise, idiot, to not fall for their entrapment and falsehoods. How is me calling you a dipshit on the internet entrapment? I don't understand that. Remember that the claims that are made by this individual are not true. I like how you just say literally everything I say is not true in a 3-hour long video. Like, he just writes them all off. He doesn't debunk them. He doesn't provide counter evidence or even a counter argument. He just says, nothing this man says is true. Okay. And they were reviewed by fact checkers. You wouldn't know a fact if it was scrolled onto a cricket bat and the cricket bat then whacked you in the nuts as hard as it could. You still wouldn't know what a fact was. And found to be disinformation. Who are these fact checkers? I want to see them personally. I like to imagine that he actually does have fact checkers, but they're all just old drunks who don't even know where they are. And like, he just pays them in bottle caps that they think are coins, and they just basically they can't read because they're so drunk, so they just sit there go, what the fuck is that? Yes, whatever, man, just get paid. And he calls that fact checking. This is nothing new, as Gage's people tend to be chronic liars. Motherfucker, you are the biggest liar on the planet. And slanderers. You're also a slanderer, you dipshit. In fact, you are actually a slanderer, and I don't think we've said anything slanderous or libelistic. Because in truth, nobody needs to. Even if we were those kind of people, we wouldn't have to, because you people make an ass of yourself so much that there's no point. Which includes Professor Curious. Happy Festivus. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from our studio. Bitch, it's your fucking apartment. I've seen how you live. You are fucking waist deep in takeout boxes, living with a man you hate in an apartment in what I think is New York or something. That's your quote-unquote studio. You use a phone to record this bullshit. I have more of a studio setup than you. And I'm also just sat in my apartment, but I at least have a computer and a headset and editing software, which makes me more of a studio than you. Fucking idiot. To wherever you are, only on this the shit-ass eye show, where your mental fitness is our business. How the fuck is my mental fitness your business, you stupid fish boy? So, anyway, if you thought that was over, you, well, you're kidding yourself. So, this is I've just noticed there's an error on this. Oh, no, sorry, no, this is, never mind, sorry, I made a mistake. Even during the holidays, so this is part 2, and it was recorded on the 28th of December, so 5 days ago now. The continued attack, so this is part 2, so my video was 3 hours long, and for some reason, he couldn't play it over one episode of podcast. And this podcast lasts for a total of 12 hours. I shit you not. This podcast is longer than the Lord of the Rings movie. And it's not even a podcast. It is just music, my content that's stolen, which in my personal opinion is the best part of it. Some random fucking bullshit about wellness that he's stolen from somebody or something, and again, more music, and a robot voice saying bullshit that doesn't make any fucking sense. So that's his podcast, and it takes him 6 hours of that shit just to steal my video because he's a fucking idiot. Anyway, here's part 2. They continue to attack the far-right extremist. Far-right extremist, that is a new one for me. I'm going to get that on my business card. Professor Curious, an active member and defender of a cult run by conservative Gage against the LGBTQ plus community, Asians, Democrats, and anyone with actual intelligence and respect for others. You have neither of those things. By the way, when he keeps putting Gage's personal fucking info in this shit, so I am avoiding reading that out, but he keeps insisting he's not doing anything wrong, and then he does that shit. Fucking idiot. This individual continues to promote hate speech with no remorse. You've said more hate speech than me. You've said way more hate speech than me your time. He joyfully promotes that transgender individuals should hang themselves. No, I said that in 10 years' time you are likely going to hang yourself on a doorknob whilst having a wank. And then I said maybe you should just skip to that, because at this point you're just living on a fucking pathetic loop that nobody really wants to pay attention to anymore. And go die in a ditch somewhere. Yeah, because you started saying shit about somebody's disability because you're a piece of dog shit. So shut the fuck up. He continues to project his failures of life on other individuals that has nothing to do with him or his mental state. You know nothing about my life. You literally do not know a single fucking thing. You don't know where I work. You don't know what my relationship status is. You don't know where I live or how I live. You don't know the first fucking thing about me. And yet you're saying that apparently I'm projecting my own personal failures onto you or some shit like that. Bitch, the difference is between you and me, I did my research. I saw how you live. It's fucking pathetic. Honestly, the greatest gift to charity that anyone could give you, seeing the way you live, is a fucking bullet to the forehead. Where am I? There we go. He had zero remorse for being a racist. Oh, so I'm a racist now. I'm sorry, what racist shit did I say? What shit did I say that was actually racist? Because as far as I can tell, I've never said anything racist. Ever. Hell, I don't even say racial slurs because I'm not comfortable saying them. I've never said them even as a joke. You're an idiot. I only say them like either in quotation or if I'm like in character. Like, you know, if I'm playing a character in like voice acting, but that situation hasn't happened. But like, if that happened, yeah, sure, because it's not me saying it, it's a character. But outside of those two scenarios, I don't say those things. Hell, there are a lot of words I don't say. And I'm not telling other people what they can and can't say. It's just my personal thing. I just don't say those words. And it's amazing that I have that fucking... Well, I would say it's restraint, but it's not, because I never really want to say these things. But even though I never say these things, this idiot still labels me as these things, despite the fact that I've never said them. It's ridiculous. It's honestly fucking hilarious. And even makes excuses for his actions. No, I didn't. What excuses did I make for what actions? Could you elaborate? Actually, I don't care. He did this verbal statement via request by Gage. Gage had no idea I was doing it. At all. He had no idea. I did it like a week after he found the book, and I took a look through it because I didn't want Gage to have to suffer it. I didn't tell Gage a single jot about it. In order to bypass the backlash of those who he has victimized by making Professor Curious a stooge and a lackey of his boss. Yeah, in order for me to actually be a stooge or a lackey, I would have to be either getting... Well, I'd either have to be getting some really good head or a big wad of money. Either would work, but like, yeah, I wouldn't be a stooge or a lackey for free. I hate to say it, but I wouldn't. Actually, I don't hate to say it because it's true. And he continues to lie about the realities of his and Gage interactions. This retard can't do fucking possessives or plurals because he's a moron. With different sources of individual liberal parties. You don't even know what he's saying. Professor Curious has a habit of always blaming others for what he has done. example would be nice. I don't know what you're talking about there. Legitimately, I don't know what part you're referring to at this point. Instead of just owning up to it and who he really is. Owning up to what? And who am I? Why have I ended up in... This is so stupid. I'm starting to question myself. I'm having some fucking crisis of identity because I don't know who I am anymore. What have you done? Professor Curious also has beliefs in conspiracy theories. Oh, this part's funny. That includes, but are not limited to, Israel's existence is in direct result of the Holocaust and white (European) man and nothing else, and that everyone that lives in Israel is a direct victim of the Holocaust are indeed white (European), meaning that Professor Curious, not a real professor, in brackets just in case you didn't know, does not believe in the existence of Palestine or the Palestinian people, the existence of Arabs, people of colour, or any other race of Israel, or the existence of the actual history of Israel and their Middle Eastern Asian religion. Okay, I'm going to stop there. 1. Me saying anything about Israel as a country is not me saying anything about Palestine. I did not give my opinion on Palestine. I did not say a single fucking thing about Palestine. I have not even fucking uttered the word Palestine in that whole thing. I did not deny that Palestine's a country. I did not say any of the shit about Palestine that you insist I said. What I fucking said was, and you amazingly don't even address this, you, me and Gage, were sat in a call together, and you said that the word fish labelled against you is a racial slur against Asians. And when we said it's not because that's fucking stupid, you then looked it up and found an Urban Dictionary definition, which is the only example anyone can find, that said fish is is a racial slur against Israeli people. Your argument was that Israel is geographically in Asia, and therefore fish is a slur against against Asian people as a race. My counter to that was that Israel as a nation, its makeup, for the most part, is people from Europe. Basically, it's Jewish people from all over who came there to have a land of their own. I did not say that those are the only people there. I said predominantly that's who is there. I also said that those people more or less run the country, those people more or less own the country, and it is considered like the Jewish nation. It's the nation of the Jews. So what I said was, nobody considers it and its people to be a prime example of what people think of when they think of Asia. Do I think that there are people from neighbouring countries or who were originally living there when the whole region was basically Palestine who, are not of that makeup? Very possibly. In fact, more than possibly, it probably is the case. Did I say those people don't exist? No. Did I say that it's impossible that they can exist? No. What I said was very simple and very true. Nobody fucking goes to Israel as a go-to example of an Asian country because this is not typical in its makeup, in its people's makeup, in its government's makeup, or in anything. That is what I said. I said fuck all about Palestine, and I said fuck all about anything else. That was literally all I said. And you've turned it into all that fucking mess. I didn't say Arabs don't exist. I didn't say Palestine doesn't exist. I didn't say the Palestinian people didn't exist. I didn't say anything about any of that. I didn't say that people of colour don't exist because, well, oddly enough, I just played through Red Dead Redemption and there's a bunch of people in that who are people of fucking colour, so that would be fucking baffling if I walked away with that fucking conclusion. Did I just see a big black square where fucking Tilly Jackson, fucking Charles and Lenny were? God, that bar scene where everyone's Lenny must have been a real fucking trip if everybody was a fucking censor bar in my brain. You are an idiot. You really fucking are. So, yeah, these people exist in Israel. I didn't deny that. I said, though, that predominantly it's immigrants from fucking Europe. In fact, I'll do one better. Here we go. So, a quick Wikipedia look, which, okay, if anyone wants a more in-depth source, they're more than welcome to look for it, but I think I can trust this enough. Population demography 2017. So this is 5 years ago. Jews, 74.6%. Non-Haredi, 62.8%. Haredi, 11.8%. Arabs, 20.9%. Other, 4.5%. And then the total. So out of nearly 9 million people, 6.5 million of them are fucking, are Jews, who are typically from Europe. Now, there might be people in that Jewish community who are not from Europe originally or have no European ancestry. But likelihood is, like, I don't know why I have to prove this, but let's just accept that this fucking idiot is going to argue it no matter what. But I've read out the statistics, right? Right there, demographic based on what kind of people are living there. Arabs, yes, they exist. They are not the predominant people of this country. So shut up, you fucking idiots. Anyway, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent. But bearing in mind, this is the dumbest thing, and I had to fucking just tear it apart. So, by the way, when he says the actual history of Israel, his fucking version of it doesn't make any fucking sense. Because in his mind, Moses was a Christian, which makes no fucking sense. How would Moses worship someone who hadn't even been born yet, you idiot? Right, anyway. Which is the same excuse that he gave for being a racist against Asians. I've never been racist against Asians. I don't understand why anyone would be. That's stupid. And non-white members of society. Wait, what are you basing this off of? Oh yeah, I disagreed with you. That's enough. Remember that nothing that Professor Curious said is true. And it's just the daily nonsense that he spews. I've mentioned you once. Well, I mentioned you once in this capacity, and I mentioned you once in about a year. Directly. I mentioned you in passing once or twice. Under the direct orders of Gage. Ignorance is one of the direct consequences of being a conservative. And this conservative in this episode, yeah, I'm a conservative, despite the fact that I've never voted for the fucking Conservative Party in my life. But, conservative. Has been exposed. Oh no, I've been exposed. I'm gonna have to go on the fucking lam. Only on the Iron Shithead Show by Penna Vega, where your mental fitness is our business. In what fucking capacity? You're a mental case yourself, you idiot. Hope you are enjoying your holiday season. I mean, yeah, this is the best Christmas cracker joke I've read this whole season, so thank you. Hope you're enjoying your holiday season. Well, I was, and then you came along. Stay intelligent. Fat chance if you're reading this shit. I feel dumber already. And keep a clear head. Till next time, ciao. So yeah. Ugh, sorry. Got tired. So yeah, that's what this retard's written about me. I find it utterly hilarious, and I wanted to share it with you all, so that you can all see what the world's dealing with. What kind of people exist on this planet. Now, I'm going to be honest and say that Stetson's stupid fucking podcast has straight up stolen my content, and he has used that as an excuse to put a load of libelistic bullshit about me in the description of said podcast. I have no idea what the fuck goes on in this thing's head. I don't even know what fucking... I don't know why he is this way. I don't know if he genuinely believes the stupid shit he spouts, or if it's just... I don't know, if he just doesn't know any better. And like, his brain is so addled that he can't tell fact from fiction anymore. I could buy either narrative, to be honest. He seems crazy enough, but at the same time, he seems to be aware enough to be doing sly shit. So, I hope everyone's had a nice new year, and I'm hoping to start working on some more curiosity's sake, because I loved making stuff last year for it. And 2021 was a lot better than 2020 was in terms of episode output. I'd like to maybe even break that record, but we'll see. Until then, toodles.